All right, let's go out on the phone now on the hotline. We got John Frenzy, Hall of Fame rider, broadcaster. How are you, Frenzy?
I'm doing great, Rod. Glad to see you about an hour ago there. It was good seeing you.
It was good seeing you. And by the way, go to my Instagram or Facebook stories. You'll see me. I didn't pick John up. He just asked me to come to his house. He had a colorful outfit on today, a train conductor's hat and his pajamas. And I said, how does your wife let you go out of the house like that? And he said, she's not here. Clearly. John, why do you like doing that so much?
It's just fun. I don't know. It's just fun. You keep me going. I got to have a different kind of dress each week. And I've done pretty good. You got to admit, I've done pretty well.
John, of course, but I got to say this. Last night, we did this Recovery Hour show here, and one of our cameramen said he saw you walking around South Regina last night without your shirt on, and I had no problem believing it, but can you at least confirm that was the truth? What happened last night?
I took an off walk down the street here, just here, with my dog, in our little area here, so he's exaggerating a bit.
Well, I heard he said that there was somebody on a bike beside you.
Oh, no, he's wrong. The guy was going by me in a car. One of my buddies in the car talking to me, whistling at me, and his wife was whistling at me too. And they got in a fight.
Oh, I bet, because she was whistling.
Yeah.
I've seen Lynch shirtless, and it's something to behold, by the way. It's better than you'd think.
Wow.
So John Lynch was walking shirtless in South Regina last night amid 27 degrees Celsius.
John, the girls call that a sneaky, sexy body, okay? Sneaky, sexy. That's the term.
He doesn't know what to say to that. Frenzy, your thoughts on the CFL draft last night?
Well, I thought it was a pretty good draft. Overall, I wasn't expecting much. So many guys are signed with the NFL. I thought it was a pretty good draft. Some pretty high caliber guys out there that were drafted, I thought. So I thought they came through pretty good, better than I thought they would. I like the guy we got. Very happy with the Riders there. Riley Matlin from Melfort, the home of Kenny Singer and Gary Fitz. This guy can play either guard, right or left, and center. 6'4", 325 pounds. They like him. Smart guy, engineer at the University of Saskatchewan, and I like him. He's got speed too. He's tough. I think that was a good catch by us. I also thought the BC Lions picking up Jordan Williams there from University of Southern California there, not Southern Carolina. He's a hell of a middle linebacker, and I think that's a great catch for the BC Lions. And he's a Canadian, a fluky Canadian. His mother was here for 5 months after he was born, so therefore he's a Canadian, right?
That's what they say. What about the Canadian quarterback to the BC Lions, Nathan Rourke? John, you've studied all these guys. You've probably seen his games. Do you think the guy can have an effect in the CFL?
Oh, yeah, he's good. He throws that ball really well, runs well. Good arm on him, tall guy. Looks like he knows what he's doing. I mean, you've heard all this said before, but I think he's probably the best prospect we had, well, in a long time. I'm still expecting. I thought Connor would do better in Toronto. He hasn't even played even at all. He's a third-string quarterback on that team, but I think this kid could be a real, genuine, possible backup, maybe a starter in 3 years. They got to give these Canadian kids a chance somewhere down the line, don't they?
Well, I think so. And they've made this Canadian quarterback count towards the ratio, so it sounds to me like they're trying. Darren?
Yeah, I think so too. When you look at, the Riders getting, Matlin, Riley's and O-line and all those Saskatchewan Huskies, John, we haven't seen that in a little while. Are you, what does that make you feel when the province now is starting to produce so many drafted players, much like it was back in the 90s when the Huskies were so prominent? That's got to make you feel pretty good being from here.
What a coach he is. I mean, I say it again, I think within some time in the future he will be coaching the Roughriders.
Yeah, I would agree. Probably will be after Craig Dickinson wins a Grey Cup here. But, I think we'd all be in favor of that Regina guy, Scott Flory. Frenzy, what did you think about TSN's draft production last night? Just how it looked on TSN?
Actually pretty good, but I wasn't that enthused with my defensive back there in the left-hand corner, though. He can't talk very well, you know that? You know what I mean?
David Sanchez.
David Sanchez, for an announcer, he can't talk very well. Overall, I thought it was pretty good. They had some stalls at time where Naylor was just standing there, just sitting there. They're waiting for him to talk. They seem to be not coordinating things too well there, but overall, not too bad. I thought the action shots of the players was great. Didn't you guys? They had some real good.
I thought they did a pretty good job. I mean, you're sitting here broadcasting remotely like they were. I thought they did No worse than ESPN in their draft coverage.
That's right.
And obviously, compare it to what ESPN did for the NFL draft. Was it that different?
No, pretty close. But did you know the NFL had 55 million viewers?
Well, that doesn't surprise me. And I had a lot of people say to me, why am I hearing so much about the NFL draft this year? I say, because you're not hearing about anything else. That's why. There's nothing else going on. That was it was a boon for the NFL that way, John. And I bet you the ratings would probably be pretty good for TSN last night.
I think they would have been. Yeah. Overall, not bad. Pretty good. I thought Farhan did a good job. Farhan Lousy, your old buddy there?
Yeah.
Good guy.
He's a great guy. Paul Totsky writes in, he's an Argos fan. He says, I thought the guys on TSN seemed a little down last night. It's a tough time for the league. Paul, that's a very perceptive comment. And now that you say that, I would agree. John, what do you think about that comment?
Yeah, they weren't far about it. If they had Burris there, it would have been different, eh? Henry would have put a lot of life into it. But they're down about the league. I mean, the league's in a tough situation. It's an ugly situation right now. It may be done. It's unbelievable to talk around town that, hey, the league could be finished. If they don't do something this year, it could be finished. And the guys start to cry like me and say, well, Johnny, what about our stadium? It's only 4 years old. I say, I know it. You're talking to the right guy. I hope, and I told you last week, I think somebody will do something real big to get everything turned around so those Americans can come over the border and we can start practicing on the 1st of July and not miss too much time there. We're supposed to come to camp this week, eh? If things are all right, if it was normal.
May 17th, I believe, was supposed to be the start, so a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah.
May 17th, okay.
Yeah.
But I hope that we can get something done. I don't know about Trudeau. He's a real stick handler. I think he's a pretty good hockey player, wasn't he?
Yeah, great stick handler. I got it. Ha, ha, ha. That's one of Lynch's old jokes.
I don't know if he's going to help us much or not. I mean, it's a big thing. It's a great league. It's been around for a long time. It unifies the country. It's an important thing for us to have. It's not like the National Hockey League. It's just the only Canadian league we have.
You're jumping ahead. Hang on, Frenzy. One of our viewers, Landon, writes in. He says, can't wait till Lynch is back in the bunker. It'll be a great reunion. Thank God for the phone and interviews. Rick Hagelin writes in with a heart. Love Frenzy, Lynch. So your posse's out, the Lynch mob. They're loving you today, John. So let's go to your take on why or why not the CFL should receive federal aid from Ottawa amid COVID-19.
Well, because it's so important for Canada. It's the only thing that unifies Canada. I mean, you've been across Canada, and people talking about Roughriders, and you know what happened with Roughriders playing in the cities across Canada. They fill the park. It just shows you what Canada gets from the CFL. It's the only league we're really unified. We all talk about it in the heart of the season. It's just a thing that they've got to grab a hold of and make sure it happens, and will happen. I mean, we had Brad Wall and Pat Fiacco realize that when they put that stadium up. And now we got to keep filling it. That's the 4th year, guys. We want to see it filled. Grey Cups this year. Aren't you wondering what happens if we start the league in September? And 10 weeks later, it's the Grey Cup. Do you buy that one? Oh, I don't know. And, I think a lot of tickets have been sold. We got a great team of the Riders. Won it here the last time I was here. Want to do that again.
Got people writing in that there's a delay between the video and the audio, and I've probably seen 30 messages on it. We're on it, guys. Just close your eyes and listen. We're doing a phone interview as it is. Just enjoy the program. There's not much that we can do about it. And trust me, the guys know. Frenzy, one thing that I'm surprised about is the amount of CFL and Rider fans that are against $150 million to the CFL. That part surprised me. I get the people that don't like the CFL being against it, but there's CFL fans that are against it. Have you heard that?
I sure have. I've got some pretty close to me, too. I don't understand. Yeah, but you talk to a lot of those people there. I know. They can be saying, well, what the hell? Why should they get that money? Why should they get that money? They like to be negative. You know this. We've talked about some fans in Canada. They like to be negative. I'm surprised about it, too, though, quite honestly, because what it would be, 150 grand and 25,000 to 25 million to each team. Yeah, we need it. We need it. And I'm surprised that I like that, too. Well, guys in Canada, in a lot of ways, they just got to be negative about something. You know, when we get a good phone-in show going and things are going good, there's always 3 or 4 guys that phone in and say the lights were dim at the park or something, or some of the girls were going along, their dresses were too short. A bunch of the damnedest things you ever heard of, you know. And you and I laugh at that. We said, and I'll say to you again, I'd like to see those people, what they look like in real life. I bet they're probably fat buggers and nothing else to do, you know?
No, trust me. I did a show on it last night. Some people aren't happy unless they're not happy. And it just, stop calling me, get out of my face. I just don't want to talk to you because I'm a positive person. Don't bring me down. And you're the same. John, that's why we get along so well. Now, we covered the draft. We covered federal aid. There was a third thing you wanted to talk about. Do you remember what that is?
I must have forgotten.
Yeah, me too.
It mustn't have been that important. The Riders taking the Granville in the last choice was a good choice, I think.
Yes.
He's going to go the Cowboys. They say that what Herbie's done to him is they go the Cowboys, have a great year, then come to the Canadian Football League. But because he'll be in the backup, eh? And if he has a real good year, then he'll enhance his wealth if he comes to the Canadian League. But he's a good football player. He would have been great for the league, that's for sure.
Well, he's been a Rider for less than 24 hours. We'll see how it goes. Main thing is getting these guys on the field. Frenzy, thanks for this. This has been awesome. Let's chat over the weekend.
I'm looking forward to getting back in there. When am I coming back down there?
Darren?
We're going to ask Premier Mo. So once he gets back to us, John, then we'll get back to you, and we'll figure it out as we reopen the province and reopen the bunker.
Okay. Sounds good.
Be well.
Bye-bye.
John Frenzy, Hall of Fame Rider broadcaster, joining us this morning in his usual Friday morning spot. Everybody loves John Frenzy. Be watching for him walking around the streets of South Regina, shirtless, now that spring has sprung. Interesting, talking with Bill Chow, the president of the SJHL, on the program yesterday. I said, what is it going to take? Who are you listening to? Where are you taking direction from? It's the Premier and the top health officials and Hockey Canada. So there's a lot of pressure on those guys.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of pressure on them. To be honest, I don't think Scott Moe's paycheck matches the pressure that's on him. He's getting far underpaid. Some of these other guys, commissioners, different story.
It's a lot of pressure.
Politicians, it's not the most well-paying job in the world.
No, it's a lot of pressure because you want to open the province up, and we're doing okay here. In Saskatchewan, we've been distancing and everything else, but other places haven't. And we open, but they can't, and you get some backlash, or you get people going in and out of the borders, and then it causes problems. It's the same thing. I mean, we've been okay. We've been able to stick to our circles, but you've got to be careful not to open too soon and take that backlash. It's a high-pressure thing.
Yeah. This is unbelievable, by the way. Michael Gregory's watching in New Orleans, Louisiana. He says, I just saw the video of Lynch in his pajamas. Hilarious. That was on, again, my Facebook story and my Instagram story. So follow me at Rod Pedersen Official, and you'll see we do it every Friday morning, and viewers are going up on Fridays.
Oh yeah, and we have we got our mention of the women in Frenzy's thing. The girls
Everybody's
in the short
ding.
skirts.
Yeah. But what's amazing is that's a guy in New Orleans saying that. Steve Desio's in Pennsylvania. He writes it and says, there's always the negative Nancy's. I'm with you guys. Be positive. And it's like, I don't mind that you want to run around like your hair is on fire. There's a lot of those people around here. My point is, stay the hell away from me. I just don't want to hear your crap. And maybe you don't want to hear mine. People don't like my positivity. My wife does. My family does. But not everybody does. They just, trust me, working in the recovery field, some people just aren't happy unless they're unhappy. And it's like, stop calling me. Stop asking for meetings because you're never going to be happy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't truly want to make a change. The sad thing is for Lynch, because I got people writing me, J-Rod being one. J-Rod texts me all the time. He's like, there's got to be football. What's Shepard going to do? What's Lynch going to do? Like, what are they going to do? I don't worry as much about that. In my other role, when I leave here, I'm trying to convince people not to kill themselves. For real. I'm not as worried about CFL football. I get that it's important to the old boys club. I get it's been their whole life. It's not my whole life.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You're watching Rod Pedersen On Demand. For more of The Rod Pedersen Show, visit rodpedersen.com or follow Rod Pedersen on social media.